How many times have you read, heard, or seen a story related to the pro-life movement where we have been criticized for not caring about women? And most of those people who make those false statements, and they're completely false, by the way, have no idea about the incredible movement of pregnancy resource centers and these places like Heartbeat International that for decades have been doing immensely important work in helping women, the babies, the entire family, and the local community. That's why it's so heartbreaking and really utterly ridiculous, but very, very serious when you see these different agencies, government agencies, politicians going after groups like Heartbeat International. Today we're going to talk about California and its lawsuit against Heartbeat and RealOptions, seeking to simply silence, and simply I mean they just want to shut them down, shut them up, and they want to do this through fines and money and everything else, to silence pro-life nonprofit organizations. Peter Breen is with us. He's been on us many times. He's the Executive Vice President and Head of Litigation for the Thomas More Society. Peter, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Hey, thank you, Teresa.
All right, so what's the latest in this case?
Well, so we began the trial on Wednesday in Oakland. So it is in Alameda County Superior Court. That covers Oakland and Berkeley. So it's for pro-life folks. That's an interesting part of the country. Very, very much a mission territory. And we began with opening statements from both sides. And the Attorney General made clear, the prosecutor, in his opening, they want over $20 million in fines against Heartbeat and then RealOptions, which is a local pregnancy center network there in the Bay Area. Mm-hmm. And, of course, these entities don't have $20 million. So this would be bankrupting. They want to bankrupt the country's largest network of pregnancy help centers, 2,000 members nationwide, another 1,000 internationally. I mean, they're out for blood on the other side. And so that is how the case began. And what was interesting to us during that opening, the point of the case is they're saying that we are lying about certain things in this particular case, abortion pill reversal. But, they would have picked any topic. But abortion pill reversal in particular is where we, the Pregnancy Center Movement, help a woman who has begun that 2-pill chemical abortion regimen, but who changes her mind. And that's going to happen. Of course, you take that first pill, immediate regret. And so we get them supplemental progesterone, show them that there's hope. We've got scientific studies showing that there were increased rates of saving those babies if we can get you high-dose progesterone quickly. And so that's all that Heartbeat's doing, just wants to share that message. The AG has said that is false advertising, and again, you're getting this. You want the fines. They want a gag order so that we can't tell women.
But why is it false advertising, though? What's false about it? Because you have the facts, as you said. You even have many women whose children have been saved through abortion pill reversal. The doctor wrote a whole book about it, and who came up with this amazing procedure. I've interviewed him many times. So what's false advertising?
Well, the other side says, well, and this was the thing. So the other side has said, your science isn't good enough.
Oh, here we go. Okay, yeah.
Right, right. So it's always, well, you should have done this. Well, you should have done that. In their opening statement, it was so funny that every time they go, well, the science wasn't quite good enough, and they listed all of the various studies we're relying on, saying, well, this one wasn't good enough, that one wasn't good enough, the other. But what was missing was they had no studies on their end actually showing it doesn't work. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so you sit there and go, this isn't, the other side can't prove that it's false or misleading. All they're doing is nitpicking at you. Mm-hmm. And another interesting point, we finished our openings on Wednesday, started into the testimony, and put the state of California put a guy named Dr. Mitchell Kreinen on the stand. He's a late-term abortionist. He is a researcher in abortion at the University of California, Davis. Very, very prominent guy in the field. But that was interesting because you're putting in a medical expert instead of the actual alleged victims in a consumer fraud case. So in a consumer fraud case, you're the prosecutor. Think about it. A prosecutor who is prosecuting, whether criminally or civilly, you want to start by telling the story. Hey, who was harmed? What did these defendants do? What crime was committed? What civil wrong was committed? And because there were no victims, they had no victims to put up to start off and tell the story. They're starting off with a medical expert. So that tells you a lot about the strength, or at least the way the other side is perceiving their case.
But as you stated in your press release in the summary, the AG is not seeking to ban abortion pill reversal because it's legal. So how are they going to get this case to fly if they're not seeking a ban, if they're saying it's false advertising and then still claiming that this is okay on the books? That makes no sense.
Right. Well, and actually one of the claims, so they have 8 different things. They said, oh, you said this wrong. But one of the things we say is abortion pill reversal is safe and effective. If you as a physician can't say that a particular medical intervention is safe and effective, how in the world are you going to recommend it or ethically use it with your patients? Mm-hmm. So the Attorney General said, we're not looking to ban this outright. We're just saying that you can't talk about it essentially at all. You can't pitch it to people. If you can't say something is safe and effective, how am I supposed to recommend it in any way, shape, or form as a medical professional? Mm-hmm. But obviously there are hundreds, if not thousands, of medical professionals across the country who are using APR, who are willing to help administer it, who would be glad to give supplemental progesterone to a woman who reaches out to them in this situation. So it is. I mean, the entire thing is incredibly. It's just. It's in bad faith, I guess I would say. But really, this is the thing. They're using legal trickery to try to shut this down. And really, there are thousands of live babies today because of abortion pill reversal. And so those babies would likely not be here with us today if not for the work of the Abortion Pill Rescue Network, Heartbeat International, Dr. Delgado, who helped to popularize it.
Mm-hmm. Right. Talking with Peter Breen, Executive Vice President and Head of Litigation for the Thomas More Society. So how do you think this is going to go, given where this case is being heard and presented? Peter, what do you think?
Well, we are vigorously fighting it. I have to tell you, Teresa, we actually have some APR moms who are going to come to court and testify.
I was going to ask you that, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes, and that is absolutely, that's coming. We are, so this past week we just had the first witness. Next week we're doing the cross-examination of Dr. Kryman. So that is going well. We're essentially picking apart all of his claims because he says, well, your studies are no good, and in fact they're barely evidence at all. Well, as it turns out, he has no evidence that it was fraudulent. These are real, the case series that we've got hundreds and now actually thousands of actual results from people who've been helped. So we're picking that apart, picking apart his expert opinion. Next up will be a statistics expert. So they'll present him. I'll cross-examine him. And then we're going to hear from Joel Godsey, the president, the head of Heartbeat International, to talk through what Heartbeat is about and what Heartbeat is doing. It's interesting the way the other side, the prosecution, is calling Jarrell, even though he's our Heartbeat president. So they're going to viciously cross-examine him, and then I get to question him on direct, and get to tell the story finally. So we're really looking forward to that, being able to tell the story. What is abortion pill reversal? Who is Heartbeat? What are we doing? So, when you're dealing with a neutral judge, he doesn't know, what the pro-life movement's about or all that. So really being able to tell the story, hey, how was Heartbeat founded? It would be at this point millions of women served, helped, pregnant women in need. So we're really looking forward to telling that story and getting that out in the next week. And then we're just going to continue on. We've got Dr. Delgado coming to testify.
I was going to say, you have to be bringing him to testify, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is going to be, we've called it the pro-life trial of the century because it is, the issue is a very discreet one, abortion pill reversal, but really the whole pregnancy center movement, all of that is on trial. And so we intend to put forward a great story and a great defense of our movement. And also, frankly, to talk about the chemical abortion regimen. Right. And the fact that it's got, in fact, we had evidence the other day, 3.5% to 7% complication rates. Mm-hmm. So you're talking maybe 1 in 20 women are having a serious complication for using chemical abortion. So that evidence is coming in. So there's a lot of uncomfortable evidence for the abortion movement that's coming in through this trial. And we're using every opportunity to make sure that we tell our story, both as pregnancy center defendants, but also as the whole movement.
What gives you the indication, what kind of a background this judge, by whom was this judge appointed? And you said neutral, and you're confident that this person will be open-minded on the bench?
Well, I mean, look, we're so this is a bench trial. You always, judges are going to come from various backgrounds, and so you take, a judge is supposed to be neutral and listen to the facts, and especially when you're doing a bench trial, the judge acts both as the judge and the jury,
right?
And so it's a unique role for him or her, and in this case, we have a judge who we're presenting evidence to, and his job is to be neutral, and we're very confident that we're going to get a good hearing, and we think that we're very confident in our evidence. We're confident in our legal theories, very hopeful for a good result. But we're committed to take this case as far as it has to. I mean, I hope we don't have to go to the Supreme Court to get an ultimate victory on this, but we will do that if we need to. I mean, the entire movement is at stake here. I mean, if the AG of California is able to bankrupt the largest network of pregnancy centers in the country, there's really nothing else that can be done. I mean, that is catastrophic, and so we're not going to let that happen.
How soon do you think there will be a decision in this, Peter, once you're done with the trial?
Well, so we're going to go for about, 5 or 6 weeks in trial.
Okay.
There will be post-trial briefing. Yeah, so there will be post-trial briefing. We'll have a final argument. Yes, at least that's where we're looking. So it'll be a few months. But really, what I would be looking out, first off, we need everyone's prayers right now that the evidence comes in well, that everything is done properly. Our witnesses and our attorneys are just sharp. But then you're going to see articles, and we're hoping to get some great evidence put in now, a formal record to establish certain things about the pregnancy center movement, about the wonderful nature of abortion pill reversal. We're hoping to get good rulings on that, on the evidence, so that we don't have to keep fighting this. We're also fighting a case against the New York Attorney General, same case. We want to take this evidence out east and be able to shut that case down too. So we've got a lot of, there's a lot riding on this particular trial.
Now, in terms of the courts, what level is this? This is district court, federal court in California. What are we looking at?
Right. So this is a state court.
State court, I was going to say. State court of California.
Court.
Okay.
Yeah, state trial courts. I don't know if you used to, it's the Superior Court, Alameda County. And so we are in Oakland. It's right downtown in Oakland. And it's I don't know. It's Oakland. So it's just with everything that, that's been part of. So we walked to court the other day, and it's a gritty
Well, it's
town.
fascinating because they wouldn't be doing this if Heartbeat wasn't making a huge impact in their business, right? I mean, why bother if they don't have an impact on it, right?
Absolutely, and the fact that both the California Attorney General and the New York Attorney General did similar cases, and we know they talked to one another.
Yep.
They are desperate to try to shut down our movement. So it's in the pro-abortion states, they've stopped just promoting abortion. Now they want to shut down the pro-life movement. And this particular hook that they have found, they've been trying different things over the years. We think there's nothing to this, but at the same time, they've been able to get past motions to dismiss. Here we are, having spent hundreds of thousands in attorney's fees, if not, there'll be millions by the end.
Peter, we have to wrap up, but I'll tell you what, I'd love for you to join us as this continues and to see how it's going in terms of the testimony, especially when Dr. Delgado testifies. We'll be right back.